Tom Maines here with another video on spring flowers. Behind me is blackbrush acacia. This is a native South Texas shrub or small tree. It's marginal here in the hill country because of our slightly colder weather. I grew this one from seed and have had it freeze to the ground one winter, but it has grown back and is blooming quite nicely every spring. And as you can see, this is quite a striking plant. This is another view of blackbrush acacia on a slightly more cloudy day. This is Acacia rigidula. This is another well-adapted Narcissus, similar to Grand Primo that was in the previous spring flower video. However, this one is called Grand Soleil d'Or, and it has yellow petals. This one flowers in January and February. Missouri violet, Viola missouriensis, is also found here in Texas. It does actually grow in a large part of the U.S. from Wisconsin to Georgia, west to New Mexico. This is an early spring flower and grows in moist, shady places in woodland environments. It spreads quite easily from seeds and rhizomes. It's also an edible plant. The foliage and flowers are both edible. Giant spiderwort, Tradescantia gigantia. This is a very difficult flower to capture in photography, but it's generally some shade of pink or bluish purple, and it spreads very easily by seeds and returns from the roots. Blue-eyed grass, rusty Blackhaw, blooming in the spring. This is Viburnum rufidulum, and it's a large shrub, or it can be a small tree if pruned up. The following clip is another example. Prairie Verbena on a windy day. This is Glandularia bipinnatifida and is a fairly common wildflower in disturbed areas. This is Scutellaria wrightii, a rather nondescript wildflower from a distance, but if you get closer you can see these vivid purplish blue flowers. Oenothera speciosa, pink primrose. This is a plant that's easy to get started, but it seems to move around in the garden. Yellow Columbine, the Aquilegia chrysantha, native to the mountains of West Texas and other locales in the Southwest. Aesculus pavia, the red buckeye, a beautiful plant in spring, However, in summer it typically defoliates. There's a yellow form of this plant that grows over much of the plateau and the red one on the eastern edge. Here's the yellow form. And the creek plum, beautiful in early spring, covered with white flowers. This is Prunus rivularis, and it's a thicket-forming shrub that you'll typically find along roadsides, although it isn't that common. These are growing under a group of live oak. Creek plum. The native Salvia romeriana. The native Anemone burlandieri. These also come in a purplish blue color. And apparently pink, although I don't see the pink ones in my garden. The native Allium drummondii. These have always grown in my garden and I just let them grow. There's a bee. And also native but less common is the Allium canadense. Here's another view. These I have growing in a pot. I rescued them from a lot that was being developed. Another allium with noticeably broader foliage and also not native is Allium neapolitanum. This plant comes from the Mediterranean region. This is Indian paintbrush growing along a highway. This particular one will often be found in huge drifts. This is Castanea indivisa. Castanea purpurea is the other paintbrush here, typically found in small clumps here and there, although the individual plants are larger. I'll end with a couple of other acacias. This is Guajillo, or the Berlandier acacia, native on the southern edge of the hill country and in South Texas. Acacia berlanderii. And here's a close-up of the flowers. And another acacia, the huisache, Acacia farnesiana. Another view of huisache, this showing a whole tree. And another view of huisache in flower, also called the sweet acacia, and the flowers are very fragrant. In fact, this tree is used in Southern Europe in the perfume industry. And it's a great tree, very fast growing, very drought resistant, semi-evergreen, and the roots fix nitrogen, so it enriches the soil. This one is growing near my driveway among the cedar trees. And I hope you enjoyed the video.